Hey guys, so The Wolf Among Us Episode 2 came out last week, so I played it, and I loved it, and you'll love it too. This episode was a lot more heavy on the detective work, exploration, adventure elements, and a lot less heavy on the combat. Not that this is particularly difficult combat that they give you to do in these games, but nonetheless, it was a much more story, character development, progress sort of episode, rather than a beat the crap out of the bad guy episode, but you did still have some opportunities to beat stuff up, and Bigby always should, because he's a beat-up sort of guy. So we got, right off the bat, Bigby's been taken in by the Mundy police, like our police, because he was at the scene of a crime in New York, obviously, and Crane gets him out using, the Deus Ex Machina of magic by just saying it was expensive, but we managed to do it. And then, of course, he's taken home, they're talking about what happened to Snow, and he's going in to interview the witness that you captured at the end of the last episode. I captured the Tweedle brother. I also captured the woodsman in another episode, and then I felt bad about it because he was kind of like a sad figure, but then I didn't really feel bad about it because he was beating on a woman. I had a lot of complicated emotions about it, but this episode is the one where I saved Prince Lawrence, so I played through this one first. And interrogating the witness, I went to beat the crap out of Bluebeard because he's a dick. And Snow comes in, and I'm sure that shocked not many of you. Certainly didn't shock me. Not just because I knew she was in the comics, but also because foreshadowing and setting up glamours just like all over the place. Like, did you get your glamour, Toad? Oh, Holly's got a glamour on. You take those glamours off, they turn into trolls. Like, glamours can make anyone look like anyone. So clearly there's this really established precedent for the fact that they're going to be using glamours here. And I'm cool with that. They established it, they brought it in, and that's what I suspected was going to happen at the end of the last episode. This episode didn't end with the same sort of shock twist cliffhanger sort of thing, but it did end with revealing a major clue in your case. So you're moving on and you're getting to deal with that. So I think it was a really, really great, it almost felt like a bridging episode between a couple of things that we're going to be able to get on to a meatier part of the plot next time, because this was collecting clues. But what it did do very, very well is establish more characters and more backgrounds, because we had this this really sad sort of sequence where, not sad almost, but unsettling, tragic sequence where Snow is helping you autopsy the body that was glamored to look like her. So she's, uncomfortable looking at this body that's hers, and you get opportunities to have nice Snow Bigby interaction there, depending on how you play it. You get Beauty there at the hotel where hookers hang out, and she's sort of just doing this job to work the front desk to try and make ends meet for her family. And you get Beast coming in, and they're sort of still the only fairy tale couple that's really still together after all these years. So their relationship is kind of sweet, and to see how upset he is that she might be cheating on him. And then you get to investigate, and you find out who the killer is. And I'm not going to spoiler it for you in case you haven't played it yet, even though I spoiled a ton of other things here. But it's a good reveal. I think it was sort of predictable by the end, sort of. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. Maybe in retrospect I'm like, oh, obviously, but I didn't get it at the time. I don't know. But they did it really well. You should check it out. This is my gameplay up here that I'm showing you of my run-through. So enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes coming out, and if I had to have one critique of the series, it would be that it is coming out too slowly, and they promised it wouldn't happen again, but of course Telltale's a small studio, and if you've been following gaming news, which I'm sure you have been if you're watching this, they've taken on a lot of projects recently with Game of Thrones and Borderlands and The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead Season 2, so they're probably stretched pretty thin over there. And some people have noticed that even the cutscenes at the end of episode 1 have been changed up a little bit with the update. So if you look to see coming up next on Wolf Among Us, these Prince Lawrence scenes where you save Prince Lawrence have been cut out. So it's also possible that they may have altered the plot a little bit with that one. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. I don't mind if they altered the plot. It's their plot. They can do what they want with it. But again, yeah, great game. This felt, again, like I said, like a bridging episode, but a really, really great one. So I look forward to playing more, and you should too. Foreshadowing. It's a glamour.